guys, and welcome to our channel. This is Paper Rule. In today's video we are doing a new style commentary when we look into a fight and we actually talk about it. So according to the algorithm, up to this point people in my channel love watching write commentary more than they actually like voice. So I want you to tell me in the comment which one do you prefer. I already released a video commenting on a very long fight against a scrubber with writing on screen, and I want you to watch it. I will leave it in description, and this one, and tell me which one do you prefer I would do in the future, or at least focus on more. And in this fight we'll be looking into a fight against a very good thief actually, and it will show how you play around it, stopping a thief from stumbling or safe stump, being very careful around its action. Also, how do you counter it hits, and it's easy how you corner a thief basically, and also it will show you how a very good thief will always be able to disengage whenever they want to from a fight. So let's look right into it. As you see, I just got into World vs World. I use my tab button to trigger the enemy here since there's a fight in the camp, and I see a thief. I didn't notice this actually when the fight happened, but he has the title Knight of the Arena, and it's kinda high title in PvP. I don't know what it is, I don't play PvP. And I see one ally here, and he's a mesmer since he's having a clone, and the enemy thief down him very fast. So I interrupt him inside here and stop him from actually stealthing. He appeared because he hit my roots I already triggered on him, so he revealed himself from stealth, and you can see it here. I triggered the root on him while he stealthed. I was already hitting into his direction, and he showed himself as you see the reveal, and I still did him again to try to counter him with a lot of damage. And since we are near the root, when he come near it, it can root him again. I enter Celestial Avatar in order to be able to stealth my ally in case I needed that to interrupt a safe stump. If the person is stealthed, the stump will not land, but he continue to stump a clone actually. And I continue to revive, stay in Celestial Avatar in order to have this access to stealth whenever I needed to, so he won't counter us. He used the Ectoplasm, he take from stealthing on a mesmer, and near the end I use instant cast new Seed of Life skill on us in order to cleanse or apply blinding in case he come here, so it will blind him and offer a cleanse or extra healing for both of us when my ally comes up. And I use it exactly, and I heal my ally and cleanse probably the blind the thief had on him, or didn't even land. So let's look at that again. He used Shadow Shot as you see, but nothing land from it. I counter with a lot of damage here, and he is already low, so that's a very high damage. So he used Shadow Step, and as you see, this icon that appears on his character, and this white ring marks the original location that he Shadow Stepped from. So Shadow Step, if you use Shadow Return, it flips to another skill, it will cleanse the thief from conditions, 3 conditions. And with his low health, he either have another cleanse, or he can start healing, or he will return here. And even if he steals, you can still hit him in stealth. So I will stick to Shadow Return in order to hit him. If I see this white ring disappear, that means he is here, or at least use Shadow Return even if it's another location, because he broke the range that it can bring him to. And that's why I leave my camera a little bit up. But he cleansed and didn't use the Shadow Return, and we see him again. As you see, the icon is still in him, so he didn't use it. And at this point, I don't care, I will simply start healing or reviving the supervisor of the camp, and that's it for me. I saved the camp, I saved my ally, and I don't care this much. But as you see, I will try to get out of the camp, and I see him still standing, so maybe he want to fight. It will be fun. He seems a very good thief anyway, and he's probably like the first thief I fight since the batch of October 4th. So let's look at that again. He used Pistol 5 and Heartseeker in it to stealth, and I know immediately I will get backstabbed or an opener here after that immediately. So I dodged to miss the damage, but he hit right after it, and at least if he used Shadow Shot, I wouldn't get the blind. So I immediately will use Glyph of Equality since I don't need to turn or even press tab, so my character would target him and I will daze him, and a simple auto attack will trigger Ancient Seed on him. I do that, and as you see, I already triggered my auto attack and it will land the ancient seed. He will try to counter this, and as you see, he stills on me to counter it, to prevent me from applying the roots, but he was too late. I already was too fast and already triggered ancient seed on him. And I use a bogus ball to CC him or lock him again, and I will recover from the daze. He wouldn't be recovering from the balls this fast, and I will apply more condition on him to cover with. But he already broke free with dodging and stun break, and he broke out of it. He used haste, I guess, because it gave him quickness or whatever that skill called, and he simply can dodge out from mobilize. He is a daredevil, so they can lose the conditions that gives them invading movement, like chill or immobilize, stuff like that, very easily, and dodging simply will cleanse them. Every 1 second it can cleanse them from one condition, and that's something you need to pay attention for. And I will leave in the comment how to fight thieves, an older guide I made, and also a few tips about entangle, a very good trick that everyone watched it give me very good feedback about it. So that is the trick. I stand on the root. If he come near me, the root will clip them again and will trigger the immobilize and bleed as long as it is still alive. Since they are basically dagger thieves, so they are melee, they will either need to come near me here to do that or wait the root out like extra 2 seconds or 3 seconds, and that's a bit safety. Since they are stealthed, I'm better off simply protecting myself. So I prepare with actual sister avatar, since usually thieves will simply open on you, they don't care, and his positioning is very good. He's standing right out of the edge of it, so he wouldn't eat anything from the root itself. He's able to reach me without getting hit by the root, and my positioning is a little bit not great basically. So I intercept the avatar and I use a simple combo, and I change bits to my turtle and triggers the field in order to heal myself with the protection because of our trait rank growth, and also to avoid the projectile of his hits. But he already eats a blind from Seed of Life, and as you see, miss. He bolted on me, I heal, and I stick to my trap, so whatever condition he will apply, more blind or whatever, it will be cleansed. I will keep getting regeneration, heal a little bit more, and he still on me, so he have that skill that cleanse him and give him a water field and regeneration. So I don't want to follow him there, I want to force him to come to me, and it will be pointless to apply condition to him inside this skill because he will be cleansing anyway. So he come to me again. Since he's a melee, I dodge his hits and I interrupt him in order to apply another ancient seed, but he still on me again as a counter. But as you see here, I triggered ancient seed through a weapon swap. So look at it again, hit, dodge, he stealthed, and I already triggered ancient seed with a weapon swap. And I apply the normal combo, trying to blind him, daze him again, lock him where he is. I failed to respond to him using the elite of Dagger Storm because it will keep evading, which means if I keep hitting him, he will keep cleansing. But as you see, I failed to stop early, so he kept cleansing very simply because of it. I heal myself and I start chasing him again. He used the skill that he steals from me, and he can blast finisher in it since it gave him a water field that I can't see, but it's quite like 360. I can't remember the radius, but if he blasts in it, he will get heals. And he trying to lead the fight with short bow because it can apply very high damage by cluster bomb, skill 2 in short bow, but I can simply dodge in it or even take some damage. I'm very tanky, so it will not be this scary, and I can keep distance in order to see the skills while applying and simply avoid it. I ball him with Iboga and start applying damage, trying to lock him here and apply ancient seed immediately. And also it's a good counter to avoid him free casting damage before moving back to the dagger and try to burst me, so I stop him from using short bow freely basically. But as you see, sadly that was too early, so he simply cleansed ancient seed because of the skill that he steal from me. So as you see here, it cleansed him and he simply moved away. So he used smoke screen, which means my projectile become useless. So I'm keeping my distance, I don't want to stand in it to eat the blind also. And I move to staff in order to prevent him from hitting me with projectile or anything, or applying the blind again from his pistol. And I can use staff solar beam in order to hit through the smoke screen itself. And I keep my distance from it. However, he gonna make a serious mistake. I found it very funny when the fight actually was happening, which he will use a cluster bomb to stealth, blasting inside the smoke field, but my bit getting inside the field. Iboga, I let it go inside. Maybe he will hit it, and he actually hit it and reveal himself. He did not stop early, he did not expect me to do that. I'm not sure why he made such a mistake, but he did, and he was revealed as you see here. So I start chasing him, but he can create distance as much as he wants. He's using short bow and very fine. So we broke out of combat. I ride Warclaw in order, if he ride Warclaw or anything, I would be able to bring him down. And skill lance on Warclaw, this one, skill 4, will hit through block and blind. It will always hit, so I can keep him inside combat even if he blinded me or anything. As you see, I get blinded since I walk simply inside pistol 5, and I still hit him with it. And I start trying to lock him with the entangle, and I wanted to pay attention. If he tried to stealth on me, I'll be ready to dodge, but he actually shadow step far, creating more distance. So at this point I was questioning, will he come back since he already have shadow step here, should I chase or not? So I thought, why not, let's continue the fight a little bit. I ride Warclaw again and start chasing him. So we both out of combat now, and as you see here, he go again into the basic combo, pistol 5 and Heartseeker, and he steal to me, so he applies a daze. So I dodge since I'm inside combat to get protection that he cannot remove at this point because he already steal to me. I target him and I use short bow dodge in order to remove the blind, and I dodge whatever damage is coming, and I trying to avoid another blind. He's already dodging and he applied another blind to me, so he protected himself from my skill 5, the stun. So I couldn't trigger Ancient Seed, which for him, he's blinding me, so I will not land hit whatever it is. And most likely, since I'm a druid, it's gonna be a CC. I trigger my Bit's ball and it land on him, and I also trigger the daze trying to lock him. I wasn't sure if my Bit is gonna be bugged again, since it's a bug I explained earlier in another video for when you command a bit or something. You can check the video in the description also to know about it. So he used smoke screen here, and I avoid him and his short bow for stealth and everything. He's damaging me with it inside smoke screen, so he reveal himself. He's just covering himself from my projectiles and trying to apply a little bit damage, which a bit weird. He would have stealthed better, so he revealed himself. I avoid actually the whole damage. I'm keeping my distance, I'm moving completely calmly, and I'm trying not to hit him. Remember, we talked about Daredevil trait, which mean a simple dodge will mean a cleanse. It's have a 1 second cooldown, and if I hit him and he dodge, he will cleanse my condition, and I have enough condition probably to kill him if he doesn't have any other cleanse. So I keep my distance, and he knows that. Very good management to his distance. He avoid completely engaging or anything and just break distance the moment a smoke screen become between us. So I try to catch to him using the staff. I change to staff and I try to catch to him, but I already saw this animation of the legendary, so he mean he's using short bow. I try to land at least a couple of hits to apply some condition. I assumed since he stays in this direction, he will move to this one, but he juked me and he moved to the other one. And when I find him, he already having a little bit of condition, but he is disengaging completely freely. We broke out of combat again, and at this point it was useless. He will always break the distance if he found himself in danger, and it will be a bit difficult to catch him. And that's why Thief will not be killed if they are being very careful in what they're doing. But as you see, for most of the fight, whatever damage he did was mostly pointless. I nullified most of his hits, most of his damage. I didn't give him much opportunity to do much, and you can see even if he can hit hard, I'm a bit tanky. I will apply a lot of condition. I will cover myself with my bits, my CC, my cleanses, the root itself, I will always have something else to do. And this is basically how you fight thieves. I hope you like this video. Give me whatever feedback that you want in the comment or any further question, and I'll be seeing you next time. Peace.